Do good things and good things happen to you. Do bad things and it'll come back to haunt you.
Action!
Hey, it's Gregg Binkley, and welcome back to Acting Lessons for Life. One of the things we do in our acting classes, we talk about how we can apply acting techniques to our life. Well, that's a good lesson for your life. Do good things, and good things happen. You know, back in the early 2000s, My Name is Earl was one of the best shows on television, and it still has a huge following. And actually, I was there in the very first episode playing Kenny James.
Stay away. I bought mace.
I just want to talk, Kenny. Relax.
Well, after I recovered from that, Earl helped Kenny really find out who he was and accept who he was. And at the end of that episode, Kenny was the first one to tell Earl to go ahead and cross him off the list.
You can cross me off your list.
So, we know that Earl started his list by crossing Kenny James off the list, and from there, so many hilarious episodes where he was crossing one person after another. And then season 4 came, and the last season ended with a cliffhanger, so nobody knows how My Name is Earl would have ended. Actually, there is somebody who does know how it would have ended.
I'm just trying to be a better person. My name is Earl.
So Greg Garcia created My Name is Earl. As a matter of fact, he won an Emmy for that first episode. And he actually came and visited with our class. He's such a great guy, and he was willing to share so many lessons, so many stories. And then at the end, we opened it up for questions, and one of the students asked the question that you want to know the answer to.
All right, who else? Claire.
You probably get this one a lot, but if you had been able to write Earl into like its natural conclusion.
The end of the show I knew from episode 2, I knew the end of the show, but I'm happy to tell you what it is. And I was so bummed because after that season, I actually, towards the end of that season, I said to NBC, are we coming back next season? Because if we're not, I know how I want to end the show, and I could even, I don't know if I could have massaged it so we could have kept going, but like I need to like to know. And they go, you're coming back. You're 100% coming back. I go, because I'm going to do a cliffhanger. They go, you're coming back. In defense of NBC, they offered for us to come back. It was just a business thing. I'm going to get to your question too. Sorry. Yeah. But it was a business thing, which is so frustrating. They sent word to the studio, 20th Century Fox, and said, we'd like to pick up the show for season 5 at the same license fee that we pay. And 20th Century Fox overplayed their hand and said, no, we want X amount, more money. And NBC, in a stone cold mobster move, never responded.
Oh my God.
And then it got towards the end, and they kept, 20th was like calling, going, hey, what about that offer? About just what? And there was just bad blood between these head guys, and it was an ego pissing match. Anyway, so Earl. How I wanted it to end. And this is a little vague, but you'll get it, and I didn't have all the specifics. But I wanted Earl to be working on a list item that was super hard. It was just so frustrating to him. He couldn't figure, and each time he tried to do something, he'd had to add 2 or 3 things on his list. So his list was getting longer, and he was so hell-bent on trying to get this thing done. But the episode was about how difficult it is and how he's getting frustrated and how he's adding stuff. And then somebody comes up to him, a stranger comes up to him and says, are you Earl Hickey? And he goes, yeah, I'm Earl Hickey. Well, listen, this bike is for you. I stole it from you when I was in the 3rd grade, and I just wanted to give it back to you, and blah, 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 blah. And Earl's like looking at it, go, oh my God, this bike, I remember this bike. Oh my God. And he's like, yeah, okay. Anyway, and he takes out a list and he crosses it off. And Earl goes, what is that? What is that? He goes, oh, this is my list. I just have a list of things that I've done wrong, and I'm trying to make up for him. He goes, well, I have a list. He goes, how did you end up? He goes, it wasn't my idea. There was a guy who had a list that came to me, and because he had done this thing, so I got the idea to do it. He got the idea from a guy who so-and-so, and Earl's like, no, that guy's on my list. He goes, oh, and what Earl realized in that moment is by doing what he's doing, he's sent out other people to do this. So he did more good than even was on his list. And it gave him the freedom to be like, you can stop. I can stop. I put more good in the world than bad. Now I can just go live my life. And he can go off into the sunset and live his life. Would have been nice, huh? Would have been real nice.
Which one is from NBC?
Oh, that's for canceling My Name is Earl!
Well, I'm glad we got back at him on Raising Hope. And one of the things I tell my class all the time is if you become a great actor, eventually great work will come your way. If you become a good person, good people will come your way.
I'm talking about karma.
And I'm very fortunate that Greg Garcia came my way. He certainly changed my career. And having him come and visit with this class, he shared so many great lessons, so many great stories, some of which will be in future episodes here. But that's it for this episode. Please like and subscribe, and please go out and do good things and see what happens.
You didn't say goodbye.
I'll tell him next time.